Tony Sirico is not only a talented actor, but also a true legend. His career began back in the 70s, and over the years he has managed to star in 45 movies and 18 TV shows. However, that's not all that makes the actor so special. Prior to acting, Tony was a gangster and has been arrested as many as 28 times over his life. Yeah, you heard right. Yet you shouldn't think that's all there is to tell about this remarkable man. When Tony Sirico was born in 1942, no one could have imagined that this little boy would grow into a tough man and become one of the most recognizable actors of his time. But his life started out not from paradise, his father was absent, and his mother raised him alone. However, this never stopped him from developing and finding his own way.
Capiche?
Young Tony grew up in Bensonhurst, a Brooklyn residential neighborhood in NYC. His life, however, was not easy. According to the actor, he spent most of his growing up in the tough neighborhoods of East Flatbush. As early as the age of 7, this little boy clashed with the law several times, and that was the beginning of his troubled record. But as they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Tony Sirico's life has been far from ordinary, marked by a tumultuous journey with a staggering 28 arrests throughout his lifetime. His criminal history began at the young age of 7, when he was caught stealing nickels from a newsstand, and from there he built a formidable reputation in his neighborhood as a stick-up artist. Despite facing numerous brushes with the law, Sirico continued down a path of criminal activity, resulting in 2 separate prison sentences. The first was for an illegal weapons charge, while the second was for armed robbery. In addition to these more serious offenses, he was also frequently apprehended for lesser crimes such as disorderly conduct and robbery. One of the most amazing facts about Tony Sirico's life is that he was shot twice on the same day. That day he was kissing a girl on the steps of a local church when 3 men suddenly drove up to his car and started shooting. Tony was first shot in the leg and then in the back. When Tony was doing his second term in prison, he observed a group of former inmates called the City of the Forgotten. And it was a real eye-opener for him. He realized that acting could be a new path in his life. And he was absolutely right. Tony Sirico's journey to becoming a successful actor was anything but straightforward. But with the help of a photographer friend at the New York Daily News, he was able to break into the world of modeling. From there, he quickly transitioned to small-time acting gigs. In 1974, he made his film debut in Crazy Joe, thanks to his acquaintance with Richard Castellano, who pushed him into the movie industry. But that was only the beginning of his career. Sirico's big break came with his first speaking role in the iconic film The Godfather Part 2. In the film, he played one of the Risotto brothers alongside then unknown actor Danny Aiello. Sirico's first words on screen were "There's a cop." This experience opened up many doors for Sirico, leading to more acting opportunities in movies and TV shows. Sirico recalls feeling overwhelmed with pride when Coppola told him that he was a real character, complete with a line of dialogue. This moment was a turning point for Sirico, and it set him on a path to become one of the most respected actors in the industry. One of Sirico's most memorable roles was in Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas, where he played Frankie the Wop Basil, a stylish enforcer who was known for sticking his victims' heads in ovens. Sirico's performance in this film was chillingly convincing, and it was a testament to his acting prowess. In James Toback's The Pickup Artist, Sirico played the role of a casino partner alongside Harvey Keitel. This film showcased Sirico's ability to play a more nuanced character, and his chemistry with Keitel was palpable on screen. Sirico's talent continued to impress in the Coen brothers' Miller's Crossing, where he played Pat Sicchetti, a demolition man who delighted in blowing up saloons. His performance in this film was both intense and humorous, and it showed that Sirico was capable of bringing depth to even the most eccentric of characters.
My Goodfellas, we talk a lot about crime, but should I tell you what the biggest crime is? Losing time and not being able to read. But what if I told you there's a great way to make sure that you have the time to at least get a book in, even if it's not through reading? Introducing Audible. Get all the information you need, all the stories you want from every book you could possibly wish for without picking up a page. Now you can listen to books while driving, at the gym, performing your next whack, whatever you want. And they've got classics such as The Godfather, with a beautiful foreword from Francis Coppola, The Family Cajon, The Godfather's Revenge, Wise Guy, and Heat 2 by cinema legend Michael Mann, and many, many more. He has an offer you can't refuse. All you have to do is sign up for a trial on Audible through trial.com/VanoVHS, and there you go. You'll get access to Audible for free for 30 days. Free for 30 days. Imagine the amount of crime you can learn about in that period. Now, back to the video.
He has many memorable roles to his credit, including positive characters. For example, who can forget his outstanding roles in Dead Presidents and Breaking Bad Harry, where he excelled as a cop. He made his TV debut back in 1977 in Kojak. He went on to appear in such iconic shows as Police Squad and Miami Vice. But his true glory came with his role as Paulie Gualtieri in The Sopranos. I mean, who doesn't remember this funny and quirky soldier of the Sopranos crime family with his memorable haircut and flamboyant personality? But not many people know that Sirico first auditioned for the role of Uncle Junior, but Dominic Chianese got the part. Nevertheless, he was not reluctant and kept looking for opportunities to showcase his talent. And so, David Chase offered him the part of Paulie Gualtieri, and Sirico agreed on one condition: that his character would not become a rat. His other TV projects include Cosby, Gotti, Witness to the Mob, Pretty Weird Parents, Lilyhammer and Chuck. Tony Sirico's recent work includes his roles in Cafe Society and Wonder Wheel, Respect the Jocks and the upcoming film Super Athlete. He also voiced the character Paulie Gualtieri in the video game The Sopranos, The Road to Respect. The game was developed in 2006 and was a unique experience that allowed players to immerse themselves in a world of crime and power struggles alongside their favorite characters from the series. In late 2013, he voiced the character Vinnie Griffin on the series Family Guy, who replaced Brian Griffin after his death. Over the course of 3 episodes, Tony Sirico did an excellent job and conveyed the entire unique personality and character of Vinnie Griffin, who was the family's pet dog. In addition, Sirico made a cameo in the episode The Excellent Adventure of Stewie, Chris and Brian, where he threatened Stewie, who insulted Italians by calling them ridiculous people.
Hey, Family Guy, you're lucky I got a manigot in the oven, or I'd bash your face into a bolognese.
In 2018, he reunited with former Sopranos actors Federico Castelluccio and Vincent Pastore in Sarah Q. Let's speak about Tony Sirico's personal life. He has lived with his mother Marie Sirico most of his life and has 2 brothers, Carmine Sirico and the Reverend Robert Sirico, a Catholic priest. Unlike his character from The Sopranos, Tony Sirico is a married man who does not reveal the identity of his spouse. He respects his family's private life and prefers not to discuss it in interviews in public. Tony Sirico has a daughter named Joanna Sirico and a son named Richard Sirico. He has always been a devoted father and has always made time for his family despite his busy schedule and career success. Now I invite you to talk about the extraordinary story of Paulie Gualtieri, one of the core characters in the Sopranos series. Born in 1942 to an Italian family in Newark, New Jersey, he was a troubled street kid who dropped out of school after his first year and spent time in juvenile detention facilities. Paulie began his career as a soldier and bodyguard for Johnny Soprano and later became a key member of Tony Soprano's crew. He earned the nickname Paulie Walnuts for hijacking a walnut truck, mistakenly believing it contained TV sets. In the early 1990s, he committed to the daimyo crime family and adhered to the old mafia customs. However, his life was filled with bloody events and intrigues. Together with Christopher Moltisanti, he participated in the short and bloody war between the Sopranos and Junior Soprano in 1999. And executed Mikey Pomesi in the woods. In 2000, Gualtieri, Soprano and Silvio Dante were forced to execute their old friend Pussy for being an FBI informant. But Paulie's life was not without personal problems. He was single and had no children, and his relationship with Christopher Moltisanti was often strained by irregular payments. Gualtieri was arrested in Youngstown on weapons charges, causing his reputation and credibility to be undermined in the eyes of Tony Soprano. While in prison, he consorted with Johnny Sack to see if he could earn a place in his family, but upon his release he was fooled by Lou Patazzi. His shaky loyalty led to his being an outcast in his own family. Gualtieri and Moltisanti reconciled after the murder of a waiter who complained about the tips Moltisanti had left him. Before 2007, Gualtieri was appointed an underboss, and Moltisanti took over his old crew. Gualtieri, along with Kerry DeBartolo, was involved in a $1 million heist and ripped off the Colombians, and later became Vito Spatafor's rival after it turned out Vito was a sausage lover. Later, Soprano begins noticing that Gualtieri is hiding information from him, especially a joke that Ralph Cifaretto uttered about Johnny Sack's wife, which later almost resulted in Ralph's death. With Carlo Gervasi's vanishing, Tony offers Paulie the helm of the April crew. Paulie initially refuses, claiming that the crew is cursed, but takes the offer when Tony says that he will otherwise offer the position to Patsy. After Tony Soprano's possible death, Paulie Gualtieri's fate is wrapped in mystery. However, given his courage, skill and background in mafia life, we can assume that Paulie Gualtieri could be a key player in the newly formed mafia establishment. By the way, what do you think is the future of Paulie? Why did Paulie always keep his hands in front of him whenever he was standing? Federico Castelluccio, who played Furio, stated that Sirico was the actor most like his character in real life. About why he did so, Sirico disclosed to Michael Imperiale, when you're in prison, your hands should always be on standby in case you need to defend yourself against attacks. Sirico pointed out, you don't want your hands behind your back or in your pockets where you can't use them. Regrettably, one of the most famous actor gangsters, Tony Sirico, died on July 8, 2022, without reaching 3 weeks before his 80th birthday.